Are you afraid?
I don't know about my singing. We're...
What about my hysterical laugh? I sound like a... Yeah, anyways.
At least you don't snort.
Now, we're going to keep going. This is WTF Stories and some really fucking bad advice.
Very bad. Especially today. I can tell we're both just like, the shit that's going to come out of our mouths.
Yeah.
Not good advice.
Yeah. So if you want to hear a freaky story, I have this is a crazy thing that happened to me. And this is probably, it'd be at least 10 years ago. And I woke up one night and thought I was dreaming. Well, I'm dreaming. I look next to the bed and there's this dude standing there, like full, but it's not just like some like guy with like a ski mask or a hoodie, right? It's a dude that looks like an Amazonian. He's like in a loincloth, fucking mohawk and like paint on his face. And I'm like, holy fuck, that's a vivid dream. So I put the sheet over my head and I rub my eyes and I'm like, wake up, wake up. And I pull the sheet back down and he's fucking still there looking right at me. And I was like, right? So I'm like, put the blanket over my head and I'm just like, okay, I'm dreaming, but I'm like, I'm fucking dreaming, right? This is just nuts. But it was like waking up and seeing it. It couldn't be more vivid. Wake up in the morning, I still have the sheet over my face, right? And I like look around and no one's there. And this is when I was married to my first husband and tell him about it. And I'm just like, fuck, I had the most crazy dream. And it was so vivid. And it's like, because normally when you wake yourself up like that, it goes away. Yeah. But it didn't. And so anyways, didn't think much of it. The next, that day, actually, that afternoon, I had this appointment with this woman. Her name is Ellie Numia. She's amazing. She's the one, she taught me kinesiology, which is muscle testing. Mm-hmm. And she's taught me all kinds of like medical intuition. And she's, unbelievable healer. And so I think it might have been my first appointment with her. So I go to her, she opens the door, she looks next to me, and she goes, who's your friend?
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? I'm like looking, and there's no one there, right? And she's like, you got some Amazonian dude with you. Who's that?
Oh my God, what?
Like, yes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I literally, like, my legs started shaking. And so she just
I can't help but laugh. Like, what the fuck?
I know. So she literally like pulls me in and I can't even stand up. I mean, she like puts me in a chair because I'm literally about to fall on the ground. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, well, yeah, he's right there. Can you not see him? I'm like, no. And I said, but I had a dream last night. And this guy was standing next to my bed. And he's exactly, he's like, that's all you could call.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, he's saying that's not a dream. And he's like laughing now. And I'm like, well, who the hell is he? And she said, okay, so she's like sitting there like having a conversation with this guy, right? And I can't see him. I don't hear it going on.
So you're like, you're mental because she's just talking to Noah.
Yeah, she's like just turning away and going, so why are you here? Yeah. And so apparently he was my ex-husband's spirit guide or whatever, and was like just checking in with him, and that I saw him, and it freaked him out. So he thought he's gonna like kind of follow me around for a little while, because he's not used to people actually ever seeing him. And yeah, so I was like,
so has your husband ever seen your ex-husband ever seen
no
him?
No.
So like everyone supposedly has one?
Yes, supposedly, according to her. We have several.
I'd like to know what mine looks like.
I know. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, why is he following me? And she said, well, he's just really surprised. And then she's like, well, he's telling me he's actually quite frustrated with your husband because he's not listening to him and he's not doing his spiritual work that he's meant to. So he's decided he's going to work with you. And I was like,
you're like, I don't want him to work with me.
I'm like, he's pretty scary. She's like, he's very scary. You should see him. And I was like, I have seen him, but yeah. She's like, this dude, you would run screaming.
How could she see him?
Because she's like, she's a pagan high priestess, and she's just, unbelievable. Yeah, can just see spirits and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so she just keeps chatting with him, and they decide what he could do for me is basically he'll protect me from kind of any evil juju of working with clients. And so that's what he kind of like agreed to do. So apparently...
Oh my God, what the hell?
I know. So, yeah. So
he's probably in the room.
Well, I don't know. Now I don't know. It was just a crazy experience. I have never seen him since. And I literally, like, when they see people, like, your legs go out from under you, that's what happened to me when she said that, because I was just like, what?
I can just imagine you would just be like, what the hell is going on?
Because, it was like, to me, completely a dream. Didn't think anything of it, I thought it was quite freaky.
I'm going to wake up from this, it's going to be nothing.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even wrap my head around that.
It was pretty freaky. So, yeah.
It just reminds me of, like, ghost stories. Like, I remember... Obviously different kind of thing, but I remember my friends lived in this house and they were like, oh, it's haunted, and everyone was like, oh, it's not, like the parents, and the girls like, it is, and then the parents came in one day when the girls like, something's happening to the light, and it was like, those lights that you'd pull down, it was like a ding, so it was as if someone was holding it at the very top and then going doof 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 and like swinging it, right like that, and then as it stopped, they had this giant teddy bear, and the teddy bear just went and just moved to the other side of the room.
I have goosebumps. Oh my God.
It's so weird. I believe in stuff like that, but now I also feel very scared to go to bed, because I feel like that paranormal activity kind of stuff freaks me out, because you can legit just be lying in bed and then suddenly your mind can go to, oh my God, this thing could just pull me out of bed. Throw you against the wall.
Yeah. Have
I taken this to a place that doesn't need to go?
So
we were just yarning before, so not recently, it's probably been like a month single, and everyone's kind of been asking me like, how old or how young would you go? And I don't know. I just don't know until I get to that situation. There's a rule, isn't there?
Yeah, they say, what is it, half your age plus 7, but what the fuck is that?
So that's 19 for me. There's absolutely no way that I would ever date a 19-year-old. They'd be at uni. I'd be going to, like, toga parties with them.
That would be... What? Oh, God, I can't even fucking think. That would be 29 for me. I'm like, maybe.
29?
Because I'm an old bitch. Can you do the math?
29.
I think guys, I think it's different. I don't know. But then, I know people who are their partner's 25 years older than them or younger, I think.
But see, for me, what I think is in the future, if say I was 30 and my partner was 50, or then when you're 60 and they're 80, they're dead. They're gone.
No, you'll be wiping their ass and yuck. But when I was your age, I was dating absolutely men in their 40s and maybe a couple in their 50s, actually.
Really?
I didn't have sex with them, but they would, have Ferraris
Wine and dine.
And take me to beautiful places and were interesting. Yeah, but I would never want a man that much older than me now. Hell no.
I think 10 years is the oldest I would go.
Yeah.
So 34. Oh. No.
I think you could go up to 40. Like,
40. 30, 37.
37, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want enough in common. There's nothing worse than not being able to get the references.
Exactly. And some people are young at heart. So you could, like that. Okay, I lie. I'm going to go 40.
I think it depends on the person.
Years? No, that's 15 years.
Yeah.
That's all good.
I think some people are old men in there or just like act like old people in their 20s, and some people I know that are like in their 60s, and I'm like, you need to fucking grow up. Like, you are way too immature.
Yeah.
And stop partying. So, yeah, I think it all just depends. But, yeah.
Yeah, I've got friends who are around my age, 25, and they're like 40-year-olds trapped in 25-year-old bodies. Like, they're just so old and mature, these guys. And then the same, I'd know guys who would be 30 or older, and they're acting like they're 18. They've just had their first sip of beer.
Oh, well, I still feel like I'm 24. The thing is, you get older.
You could come out partying with me. Dangerous.
I would put you to shame, honey. Yeah, the thing is, you get older and you don't feel older unless you, have like joint pain or something. But yeah, I don't like walk down the road and feel like I'm some old bitch or something. Yeah, it's
And I
interesting.
reckon if you're a partier at heart, like when you're young at heart, I don't reckon you ever grow out of it.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll be 70 going to Rhythm and Vines.
Yeah, I think you will be too.
Front left at R&B. At these gigs at the power station.
Yeah,
Victor.
totally. Next.
You tell your supplements. Talk about your supplements.
Okay. So I am obsessed with supplements, and anyone
And you've
who-
got me obsessed. Oh my God, I take like 30 supplements now. Okay, maybe not 30.
I rattle. No, I would take 30 supplements.
Yeah, I'm probably at like 15.
So, yeah, if you've ever had more than a 5-minute conversation with me or come to me as a client, you will know I'm obsessed with the supplements, and I'll probably try to get you to take them as well. I was on Lou's radio show last week, and what was really interesting, I got tons and tons of messages from people, and the most common question asking was, what was the one you said for hangovers? And like everyone wanted to know. So here is my advice for not getting a hangover. And I've refined this since I last talked to you about it.
Oh, so it's different because I've done the first one.
It's gotten even better. I've
Okay,
taken it
good.
next level. What you want to do, number one, you want to pick your alcohol. You want to pick something that's preferably, obviously, vodka. Gin is the next best one. I hate gin, so I'd rather be sober than drink gin personally.
Really? You don't love a good G&T?
Oh my God, no. First alcohol I ever got drunk and sick on. I would be sober for the rest of my life if I had to drink gin. But I digress.
Love a good G&T.
Oh, don't even start. Oh, now I feel a bit sick now that you said
God,
that.
I feel good thinking about it.
No. Tequila is another really good one, which is, that surprises people. Beer, worst.
Ooh,
Worst
I
one.
hate beer.
Yeah, I don't like beer either. Unless it's a nice Corona with lime on a hot summer day. But anyways, so beer and red wine are actually the worst. But, okay, so here's what you do. Before you start drinking, you want to take 1 vitamin C. And this really helps your body from converting the alcohol into like a toxic substance. So that's number 1. So vitamin C before you start. Also, preferably if you can have a B complex with that as well before. And you want to do that with food. Otherwise, you'll feel sick and you won't feel like drinking anyways. The next thing you want to do is you want to take something called NAC. Now, NAC is one of the most important ones, but I found another one that's even works as good. I know. I've gotten this down to a fine art. So NAC is something called N-acetylcysteine. It's an amino acid. They actually give it to people in hospital if they have like paracetamol or Tylenol poisoning. Any kind of like liver poisoning, NAC really protects the liver. And this is part of why people die when they take painkiller overdoses, is that the effect on these poisons on your liver lowers this chemical called glutathione. So glutathione is a master antioxidant, really important. So NAC boosts that, and it puts your liver kind of on overdrive. So the next thing you want to do when you start drinking is you want to take 1 activated charcoal with each drink you have, up to 4.
Oh.
Activated charcoal will absorb the toxins. So
Do you still get drunk?
yeah, you
Okay,
do.
good.
So if you're drinking, let's say, vodka, gin, tequila, champagne, you probably can skip it before you go to bed, or like as you're leaving the bar, take some, or towards the end of the night, you could take like 4 activated charcoal together. If you're doing something like beer or red wine, do 1 with each drink.
Yeah.
And that will really, you'll still get drunk. It's just absorbing the toxins from it.
Yeah.
So, and then when you get home, you want to take 2 more NAC. Mm-hmm. And then when you get up in the morning, take 2 more NAC. And you could take more activated charcoal as well. You want to be careful with taking activated charcoal with other supplements because it can kind of block other supplements.
Yeah.
But that combination, you will not get a hangover. You will actually probably wake up feeling better than you did the day before.
Oh my God, I am trying that on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to report back. I'm going to report back next podcast.
So I'll make
Can you write this down? Have you got this written down? Because I'll forget it.
Yeah.
And I need to take it away with
What
me.
I'll do is I'll put it up on the show notes on the website for the podcast. So you'll be able to go and refer and where I recommend getting it.
And then next week I'm going to review it.
Yeah, you can report back and tell us how it worked.
That's one thing that I do always wonder about is, so I've got all these supplements now, and I never know what to take together and what not, like what's blocking what out or when to take things. I think that's probably one thing that people struggle with the supplements as well, because you can, like often I'll throw together 5-HTP or whatever, magnesium, iron, evening primrose, vitamin C, that L-tyrosine.
Yeah, L-tyrosine you want to take more in the morning before food?
I need to know when to take things, because I just throw them together and go, oh, these make me feel better. Probably doesn't.
Amino acids, the kind of rule, like with amino acids, you want to take them on an empty stomach. Minerals and vitamins, like B vitamins, you want to take with food, because otherwise they can make you sick. Magnesium you can take with or without food. Doesn't seem to really matter. I'll go more into it next week, and we can kind of go through what you should and shouldn't take together.
Yeah. Because I always think in my head, are these going to cause like some type of chemical reaction? Just bubble away in my stomach.
Oh.
5-HTP, is that the one that's good for like boosting
serotonin?
Yeah. Makes you happy.
Yeah. You just want to be careful, because for some people that actually can make you feel depressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
how?
Well, because I think for some people their serotonin's fine. And so it's just, for whatever reason, makes them really flat. I can take it now and then, but in the past when I used to take it, it actually would make me feel depressed. So, yeah, you want to be careful with that. If you do get depressed when you take 5-HTP, that's a sign that you're actually probably more low dopamine than serotonin. It's like antidepressants. Antidepressants don't work for everyone.
Yeah, and you get hooked on them, and then you're stuck on them.
Yeah, or you just feel like crap. If you feel like crap when you first start taking an antidepressant, you shouldn't be taking an antidepressant. Because if you're truly low in serotonin, it'll take you a few weeks for it to kick in, for it to bring it up to normal. If you feel the effects of an antidepressant the very first day or two, or even that first week, your serotonin's probably fine. So, yeah, it's really interesting. And then doctors,
they just dish
they
them
go,
out?
well, and they go, up your dose. Just take more, and you'll feel better. Your body will get used to it. And that's, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to bash medical advice. But that's my hangover cure. So
I'll be taking that this Friday, that's for sure. I've just started this new TV series on Netflix. Are they called Netflix series now? Not TV series. I think it's called a Netflix series.
Is it? I don't know.
That's all the young people say.
Oh, okay, thank you. I need to be educated.
And it's called The Defiant Ones. So it's based around Jimmy how do I say his name? Jimmy Levine and Dr. Dre. Obviously, everyone knows who Dr. Dre is from NWA. Yeah. Absolute legend. And it's around them. Basically, the main thing is they sold Beats by Dre, the headphones, to Apple for $3 billion, which is incredible. And they have shares in Apple now because of that.
Wow.
But it goes back through, it's filmed over 3 years, so it's a documentary. Cool. And it goes back through Dr. Dre's childhood, Jimmy's childhood, and he's a top producer like Dre as well. Yeah. And he's produced all these other people, and both of them now are, obviously the top of their games, producers, but sold Beats by Dre for $3 billion to Apple.
Nice.
And it's got people in the series like Bono, David Geffen, I don't know who that is, probably someone that I should know. Eminem, Ice Cube, Gwen Stefani, Tom Petty, Snoop Dogg, Bruce Springsteen, and these people are just saying exactly like what they thought of Jimmy and Dr. Dre, and it's so cool, the insight into what actually all went on back then. It brings up like NWA and all the shit that went down with Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and I'm more into that gangster side of it.
Yeah.
And like the coolest part, I'm up to maybe episode 3. There's 4 in the series, and they will go back to one of the bars that Dr. Dre first started at, and the owner's telling the story, being like, "I'm not fucking letting him in, little bitch boy," and all this, and then now he's like, Dre,
best friend.
Yeah, where he first started DJing and producing. But highly recommend, and it won a Grammy.
Wow.
So it's very, very good.
That's cool.
Very
Grammy is for the music, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Insane.
Oh, I'll have to watch that. I love rap. I'm a total gangster bitch.
Same, I'm like a little white girl loving rap. Dr. Dre, love it.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I'll watch that for sure. Okay, so I have a little book recommendation is what I was going to talk about. And this book changed my life. So it's called Radical Honesty, and it's by a guy named Brad Blayton. And it's nonfiction, so that means it's not true, remember? No, wrong. That means it's true.
It's true.
And so this book, he wrote this book, he's some type of therapist, and he talked about how most people's stress comes from in life is the fact that they're not being honest. Right? That they lie about stuff, or they lie to get out of stuff, or they are lying to themselves. Mm-hmm. And that the key to happiness and the key to living a more authentic life is just to be totally honest. He takes it probably a step too far. Like, if someone asks you, he says, if someone asks you if their ass looks bigger than that, you should tell them. Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know how many friends you'd have left.
White lies.
Yeah, well, I think it's more like, well, you probably could find something a little more flattering. You know, you don't need to be brutal.
Yeah.
Honesty without tact is just kind of cruelty, really, isn't it? So, but for me, I started really taking this on board, and I was just really honest, and I think that shocked a lot of people. But for me, it's been totally liberating. Like, I can remember my daughter's school called me up and they wanted me to make lolly necklaces, like for some like school dance, right? And this is, you know, candies strung on a string. And I honestly couldn't think of anything worse than sitting for hours at some fucking PTA members stringing lollies on a necklace. No, thank you. And so this woman calls me up and, oh, we need you on Friday. And just like basically assumed that I could be there to do it. And I was like, oh, sorry, no, I don't want to do that. And she was like,
no excuse. Not
no
like,
excuse, no, I don't want to do that. And she was like, sorry, what did you say? And I said, oh, I don't want to make lolly necklaces. So, yeah, count me out. And she was like, oh, well, good for you. That's just fine. Then got really fucking snippy. And I said, you know, I help out in other ways. I've donated gift certificates for sessions with me for your auctions and stuff like that, but I'm not making lolly necklaces. So she got real shitty and hung up. But like a week later, she came up to me and she's like, you're my fucking hero, just so you know. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. She's like, someone called me to ask me to do something, my stupid like mother-in-law, and I didn't want to do it, and I've always done it and gone over there and been passive-aggressive and shitty about it, but I just said, no, I don't want to do that. And so she got pissed at me, but, you know, it's the best thing ever. I've been saying no to like anything I don't want to do all week. It's amazing. I said, I know, changes your life. Yeah, so I think it's that. You don't need to be rude about it, but just...
And people always make excuses. Oh. I'm bad for it. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, can't. Like, I'm meeting someone else then. Or like, oh, I've got to do this. It's like, just say no, I don't want to do it.
Deworming orphans in Burma. Sorry, I can't do it. Yeah, I'm like, no. Just be freaking honest. And you can do it, like, being nice about it. And, yeah, but it will set you free. So, great book. I read this book. I got all excited. I'm like, I want to train with this guy. He sounds amazing. And so I'm reading about the training that you can go, and you can go do this like 7-day course with him. And it starts out sounding great. Like, you do yoga every day and you eat like all organic and you do all this group therapy. And then the last day or the last 2 days, you all go in like a big spa room, like with a massive hot tub, and you all get completely fucking naked and sit in the spa, and then each person one by one gets up naked, stands in front of a mirror, and has to say everything that's wrong with their body and everything that has ever caused them shame or embarrassment.
I could not think of anything worse.
I was like, I would rather poke my eyes out with sticks than do that. Like,
how
no,
does that
thank
help
you.
anyone? That doesn't help. It doesn't help you. That doesn't help anyone seeing all of you as well.
No. So I was just like, what the hell? And his whole premise with that, or his theory, is to completely set yourself free of all shame, to let go of all shame and lay it all out there, and then you're free. But yeah, I disagree. So
you'd be leaving before the last 2 days.
Oh, I would go insane. And some people, I don't want to watch that. To me, I'd be like crying watching and like trying to make them feel better. And you're not allowed to make them feel better during this process. So
no, that would be horrible. I just want to get out there and be like, you're beautiful.
I know. So yeah, read the book, but I'm not so sure about the course. Yeah, like unless you can skip out on the hot tub day. So yeah, great book. Well, I think that brings the
podcast to the end.
That's enough rambling for one day. If you're still listening, fucking good on ya.
Do you think people will be listening? People have dropped off, surely.
Well, if you are listening and you actually liked what we had to say, give us a thumbs up, or what do they call it? Like, yeah, a review,
A like, a comment, be nice, be honest.
Not
but
too
be
honest.
nice.
Not too honest. Yeah. We're fragile. We need, yeah.
We're not fragile, we're fine. But listen to our next podcast next week as well.
Yeah. It's
Episode
all
3.
coming up. Bye.